everybody, Tony and Chris here, and we are off the highway. We're going off that highway and into the neighborhood, perhaps, with Tim Soerens. Tim Soerens. Hi, Tim. How are you?
Hey, Tony. Good to see you.
Tim is the author of The New Parish, How Neighborhood Churches Are Transforming Mission, Discipleship, and Community. Tim, just the question I wanted to ask you was, and you're doing a lot of traveling these days, talking to a lot of local churches, parish churches. I'm just curious, what is the one idea that you've heard recently that really set your imagination flying, or a story that really just inspired or nurtured your soul?
Well, the thing that's got my attention right now is in some ways tracking a parallel movement to what we're seeing happen in the church, and that is what you might call the folks that are investing in local economic development. There are, in the same way that we as kind of church people and Christians give a lot of attention to really large churches and big celebrities, etc., for all kinds of different reasons, they get a lot of the headlines. It's the same story with multinational corporations. They get a lot of the headlines, tax breaks, etc. What is sometimes not seen is that small businesses, especially local, like retail, truly local small businesses, actually make up the largest GDP of the United States.
Really?
In essence, they're a way bigger deal than we give them credit for. In the same way, I think that oftentimes smaller, more local churches, not that there's anything wrong with large churches, there's not, often don't get the attention that maybe they should. So when these two worlds, these two, you could say, kind of parallel movements begin to dance and connect, I think we're going to see really interesting things happen. I mean, there's stories. I'm not just talking about coffee shops and breweries, though I'm talking about those things too, but co-working, textile things, social entrepreneurship. I'm pretty excited about that world. And frankly, beginning to invest in that kind of thing, I think will create a really intriguing question for a church with a budget that might, for example, want to invest in missions. On the one hand, you might want to say, let's start a nonprofit program for something like tutoring or something like that in our neighborhood, and that's great. But I think we're going to see a movement of churches and church communities who are saying, you know what, maybe instead of giving some money away, we have people within our congregations that want to start new ventures. What if we provided a zero-interest loan for them for 3 or 4 years? Because what they want to do, we actually would see joining in God's dream for our neighborhood. I think that could be a big deal.
Great. I didn't expect that. Economics and faith organizing coming together. That's an exciting idea. Thank you, Tim. Everybody, that's Tim Soerens, author of The New Parish. Please go buy it. Support local authors. Appreciate you.